Welcome into the Tour Coach, everybody. I'm your host, Tony Ruggiero. It's the start of a new year, 2025. We've been doing the Dew Sweepers Golf Show for almost 20 years, actually right at 20 years, and it's morphed into the Tour Coach podcast from our early XM PGA Tour radio days. And I want to thank you for following along. 2025 is going to be exciting for us. We got a lot of great stuff going on. If you followed along, you know that the Tour Coach they're the stories, they're the people, the conversations that I meet, whether they're players, fitness experts, mental coaches, performance coaches, just the people I meet along our journey, whether it's teaching on the PGA, Korn Ferry, Live Tour, LPGA Symetra Tours, or college players, but especially down at my home at Old Palm Golf Club in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. These are all the stories and the people that I run into that I think can add some value to your instruction program, help you play the game of golf better. We couldn't do the Tour Coach without our longtime sponsors, especially Shrixon Cleveland Golf. Been with them for over 20 years. Mitch McConnell, Buick GMC, here in Mobile and all over the country. Mitch has been such a huge proponent of us. And you've got our local sponsors, Stokely's Midtown Garden Express, Taylor Martino and Rowan, and you can't forget the folks at Vineyard Vines and Bushnell Golf. And Bushnell's been so instrumental as well in pushing and helping us with a lot of our content. We're going to continue to push out what I think is great content, all designed to help you get better at the game of golf. Appreciate all our sponsors. Appreciate you following along. We've got some great stuff coming in 2025. More live lesson look-ins, more content. Hopefully we help you play better golf. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of this journey.
So I'm so pumped to have the AMG guys here to kick off my OnlyFans. And if anybody out there wants to see me in a thong, I'm 100% willing. It's going to be a Vineyard Vines. It's going to have the whale on the front.
I love it.
Hey,
Of course it'd be on the front.
On the
How big is the
front.
whale?
Anyway, Mike and Webb, man, yeah, first of all, been a while since I talked to y'all together. Congrats on everything. Y'all are kicking ass. And you guys are actually a huge inspiration. I'm way behind you guys. But remember when I called you about YouTube?
I did.
We monetized our YouTube.
Good.
And we're up to like 26,000 people.
There you go.
Like, so.
Good for
and we
you.
put
That's
our-
hard to
We just
do.
put our own shit out.
That's
right?
hard to do.
So, what are you guys up to? Hey, let's talk about what are some of the things you guys got going on AMG now that people should pay attention to?
So last year and a half, we've opened an indoor facility here in Winter Garden,
Yes.
and we wanted to offer a really cool, decked out, all the tech feedback tools for just average golfers to come in and be able to practice, play, sharpen their game when it's 72 degrees in air conditioning rather than in the middle of July here in South Florida, Central Florida, and it's really cool to see how well it's been perceived.
I haven't been, but the pictures look amazing. Pictures look amazing.
Thank you.
What you been up to, Webb?
Same thing. So I'm there pretty much day to day, keeping an eye on the place. I check on the members. I might help people as I'm walking through, like walking the range is how I think about it. You know, my members, I like to take care of them, and if they want a little more of a lesson, they'll either book with me or I hired Nick Duffy, who's a great teacher.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so there's different levels of what the player wants. They can either go to Nick or come to Mike and I and do the gears and all the
Now,
technology.
are you down there full time?
Yeah.
I'm actually living in the villages.
Yeah.
Now, wait a minute. You're living in the village.
Hey,
right?
he's the youngest.
You got to be the
person in
youngest
village.
guy in the village.
They're building a
You're the only one that probably doesn't need Viagra in there. You remember the old Cleveland black irons, the lightweight?
Yeah.
First lightweight. I did a day down there. You remember Eddie Dry?
I love Eddie Dry. He's not with Shrixon anymore.
No, he's not. But so I did a day with him down there when they launched that thing, and I told everybody that if they come and we couldn't pick up club head speed, we give them a Viagra.
Oh my
We
God.
sold like $8,000 worth of shit that day. I said to Cleveland misspoke. They should have called The Cleveland Black Irons, Viagra for your golf swing.
Yeah, that's a pretty good tagline.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
So you're living in the village.
I am. We were both down in Kissimmee before we found the location. And then Shaun moved up next to it, and I moved on the other side of the building to be a little closer to Georgia. But yeah, we're full-time down here, and Shaun's killing it down there running the place.
Yeah, Mike locks himself in a dark room, edits videos, and I go in and keep an eye on the
Those are
indoor
my
place.
skills.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. And
Yeah.
the older you get, the more you have those skills. Trust me. No shit.
Yeah.
All right, so here's a question for each of you. One of the cool things I like, pay attention to social media too, is I like, because we were going to try to do it, but schedules didn't work. I like that you have other teachers bring players in to just get a consult,
love to do
right?
that.
Because I think that's healthy for us as teachers. I think it's amazing. I've bounced ideas off of you plenty of times.
Yep, and I have you too.
Right, and I love that nobody realizes that we're filming and they think it's a walkway. But anyways, so what have you seen? Like, tell me some things that you've learned or seen or some commonalities you've picked up on watching tour players come through for consults. Are there some things that you see that people are missing when they don't do 3D?
Yeah, you know, the Mike and I look at the right arm basically.
Yeah,
I mean,
I would
it's
say
hard to
with
see
the
with
tour
video.
guys, there's a lot of right arm, right leg. So
Trail arm, trail leg.
our little redneck theory is that, you know, once the swing starts, that right side of the body is out of sight, sometimes out of mind, and that's usually the dominant hand, dominant leg for these golfers. That's usually the kind of the root cause of where things start to go off the rails, and we absolutely see it with lesser skilled players for sure.
That they don't use the right side.
It just
Yeah.
pulls it back, or it just gets in weird positions, and you know, better learning how to move that trail side makes a lot of difference.
See, so like in my teaching, doing a lot of the stuff I've learned doing with Colby and stuff,
It's great. I love
a lot of the stuff is like, I'm just trying to get the trail arm and the face in a good place.
it.
And then from the top, I'm trying to get them to push off the right side and use the right side to drive through.
Yeah, we always talk about release the hip and the right shoulder,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
people are scared to do it because they feel like it's early extension.
Correct.
They don't realize that the lead side goes around when the trail side comes
Crazy.
through. It's just everyone's just stuck in trying not to
I don't know
early
what the
extend.
phobia of that is, but
Big phobia.
it has to get through.
The first person I ever, not first person, but like one of the first times that I was lucky enough, I went out and I observed Butch.
Yeah.
And he said to me, I'll never forget, he had a person in there, and it was just a handicap level golfer, and he had them trying to get their right side to go through. And he talked to me about how all these golfers focus on their left side, but nobody focuses on, or they don't focus on the right side. And I saw, this was like a 15 handicapper, 12 handicapper, had the right side go through, and how quick they got it because they were right-handed. I thought that was
more athletic.
Yeah.
It's like you're throwing a ball. It's like you're trying to hit something hard. You got to let the trail side move through.
Can we recommend a topic?
Yes.
So
you pick a topic.
Okay, so
Hey,
kind of
good to
one-
see you, man.
one-
Everything good? Good.
You mentioned
Good. We're just podcasting. Yeah.
so you mentioned working with other coaches.
Yeah.
You've been a big inspiration for that because, and I grew up. Both my parents were coaches, and my dad always taught me you can tell a coach's value, how good of a coach they are, by their coaching tree. The coaches that you think of the McLeans of the world and all that, and you're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
What do you look for when you're developing coaches or putting coaches around you to help your team function and coach better? Because I love watching your videos, love the work you do with the bands and all that. Kind of, Shaun and I had a selfish request of how do you look for coaches to help you coach better and kind of strengthen your team?
I go back to my old mentor. He was mean as shit. He's passed on, and he was hard as shit on me. But I'd be living in a gutter if it wasn't for him. Probably having more fun, but I'd be living in a gutter.
Who's this?
Hank Johnson.
Oh,
Bowman,
you've
right?
always
I've told
spoken
you about
highly
that,
about
right?
him.
And but he said to me at a PGA show, he told me, he goes, "You have a chance to be really good." And I said, "Okay." I said, "Why?" He said, "Because you don't think you're any good."
Yeah.
And I've always listened to that. You and I have been friends a long time, right? And
Long time.
like, I look for people that are humble and that don't think they have all the answers, and that have and it's the questions they ask when I meet these young teachers. It really is. I look at the questions they ask, and you know, you and I've talked about other teachers and needing jobs and all that stuff before, and like, you know, I think the biggest thing is being honest with them. Like, I remember when way back talked to you about hiring you. You would have been instead of Jackson, right? But like, I was like, hey, you're way past this job.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you for passing.
But like, we've been
That's
friends
how we
ever
came
since,
buddies.
right? Because
That's how
like,
we
I was
became
honest,
buddies.
like, hey,
Yep.
this isn't the right gig for you.
Yep.
But like, it's harder and harder. There's more and more young people out there today,
Yep.
and there's more and more info.
Some bad info.
And I like the people that come to you that don't act like they already know everything. I mean, like, that's
That's
biggest
a red flag.
The kind of the X's and O's, you never stop learning that, right? But
I learned from you guys. One of my biggest things I follow on Instagram, and I've texted him and comment, like, is what you guys post. Like, and I check it against shit that I do or I think, right? And I think the one thing we get lost in too is like, we don't have to agree on everything, right? But it's
Everyone
healthy
has
to do
preferences.
it. But you also don't have to be a dick to people that you disagree with.
That's true.
I'll leave that there.
why'd you put that mic in my face?
Because you have good people skills. But was that a decent answer? to
No,
your
that was a
That was
great
good,
answer.
yeah.
Like, the X's and O's, you never stop learning, right? And what I really enjoy and appreciate about you, now that we're in a position to hire coaches, is you've never been afraid to put your player in front of someone else. Who
Yeah,
has
that's a
answers.
big deal to me. Yeah.
And I see that with Scott. I see that with you, and I don't see it in a lot of other places, which is unfortunate.
They think they own the player almost, which will get you in trouble.
I've always looked at it, so like, and I'm going to go back to Hank. First real good player I ever had was Bobby White.
Yeah, he was
right?
something.
And I taught him from
He
right
shot like
before high school,
58 in high school,
57.
57.
We'd have won one up if he shot 58. But anyways, but 57. But taught him from before high school all the way through college. Then he worked with Scott a little bit when he got his tour card, and then we worked again before he still worked. I gave him a lesson in Atlanta not long ago. But I remember Hank saying to me, like, hey, you're not really ready for a player like that yet. So use your resources around you. So I would always share videos and stuff. This was early in my career. And I just kept that. Like, I think it's healthy. Like, I've sent you videos.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's a strength, not a weakness.
Yeah, I agree.
You know?
So yeah, I mean, we're different in that Shaun and I have been partners from day one of AMG. I can't imagine like doing it by myself and not having. He's my handbrake sometimes. He's the gas pedal sometimes. He sees things that I don't see, vice versa. And it's
It
like,
makes it fun.
yeah, it makes it way more.
It's
fun.
way more fun coaching as a
so
team.
much more fun.
I didn't see you do the same thing in your videos. You got someone helping out with the bands and all that. It's so much more fun to do it together.
Plus, I can, like, sneak out every now and then.
Yeah.
But
I'll be right back. I do the same thing to him. Like, I got to get out of here for a minute.
oh, fuck, yeah. But I think it's healthy. And I think that the player, like, if you go to an NFL team or a college team, I mean, they got 12 coaches,
Oh, it's a great
Yeah.
one.
That's
right?
good.
Like, I mean, Saban didn't coach every one of them damn guys by himself,
No.
right? Now, he's the head guy, and we're the head guy or whatever, but I think it's good. And I mean, so I think that's a big deal.
I love it, man. Hey, what time have we got?
Guys,
At 6:40?
I know you guys
we'll go.
got to do this, but I just wanted to get y'all in
Thank you
quick.
so much.
Thank you guys for all you
We
do.
appreciate it.